right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Success Zone, Monday morning edition. There's all the happy people. Are you happy, everybody? You need to be happy, or you can't be on. You have to log off if you're not happy. Well, actually, that's not true, okay? Because if you're not happy, you need Diamond Zone. If you're happy, or Success Zone, what did I say, Diamond Zone? If you're not happy, you need Success Zone. If you are happy, Success Zone needs you. How about that? Huh? How about that one? All right. So, hope you guys had a great weekend. Once again, another week goes by, and just look back and figure out, what you did last week, and are you at a better place than you were yesterday or 7 days ago? If the answer is yes, okay, then you're on the right journey. And what I want to talk about today is it's a training. It's called the 10 Steps to Success. And there's many variations to this, and I know there's people here that represent different companies and different products because this is a recruiting free platform. And because at the end of the day, success has steps, and no matter what your product is, no matter what your compensation plan is, right? If you commit to successful steps, right, then now it's just a journey to get there. And once again, I will share with you that my background, 25 years in this industry, and it was really formulated with the first company that we were with. Because we were with that particular company for 15 years. And, we started in our very early 30s, and you all know the story. Lisa got started first, and one of the first trainings she was ever exposed to was the 10 steps. First, it was the attributes, right? The attributes to success. And then the whole concept was, once you commit to working on yourself, now you could work on the steps to get you to success. It wasn't like, here's the 10 steps before you work on yourself. And we all know, because I say it probably almost every time we do a training, you're going to have to work harder on yourself than you are on the steps to success, because that's the journey, as you all know. So let me get one more last sip of coffee here. Okay, so let's start with first and foremost, okay, the number one step to success is to really understand your long-term potential. I really believe, okay, that in this business, I should say in this industry, we know without a doubt, great wealth can be created. There's no doubt about that. We know that. We know the success stories. We know the people making 7 figures a month. We know the people making 7 figures a year, right? And we know people that are broke, okay, in this industry. Have you ever asked yourself, what's the difference between the people that never get the plane off the ground and the people making 7 figures? And it's really understanding the long-term potential of this business. And I want to emphasize that, because very few people will stay in it for the long term. Okay, it's always about the short-term fix, right? If I don't make some immediate income right away, I'm going to quit. Well, the only reason you would quit is because you don't understand the long-term potential. How could you ever quit something if you knew you were on the journey to reaching your financial goals? So now, watch this. What's the motivation? What's the motivation? Well, first of all, you got to look out 5 years. Now, I know some people, they roll their eyes and go, oh my gosh, 5 years? Listen, can you remember 5 years ago? You ever gone through a photo album? And I know I'm aging myself now when I say photo album, okay? You go back and you go, oh my gosh, that was 5 years ago. And it seemed like yesterday. I do that all the time, okay? We were just talking about something recently, and Lisa goes, Jeff, that was 2.5 years ago. So understand, 5 years is not a long period of time. knowing most people will commit to a job sometimes for 40 years and never ever can imagine hitting their long-term potential. So you got to find your inner motivation. What is it? Okay, what is it and why did you make your decision? Okay, I know we beat this out of the park. I understand that. But I want to share with you the motivation in the beginning, okay, changes from year to year. When Lisa first got involved in the industry of network marketing, now, obviously, okay, my industry was changing. We needed extra income. Lisa wanted personal development. She wanted empowerment. She wanted to get around people. Now, why was that? Because she was a stay-at-home mom. Our kids were 4 and 1. She loved being a stay-at-home mom, but she missed being around people. So when she got around that environment of people that were starting to dream again, okay, starting to think out 5 years, it became contagious. Then all of a sudden they said, you got to find your motivation. And the initial motivation was to add extra income to our household. Then she started to make a little bit of money and her motivation changed. And the motivation then became to replace the income, my income. And then she said, well, what if? What if we could start working together? And then she started to think of, wait a minute, if I could do this, why not think about becoming financially free? See, it was a series, it was different steps towards the long-term potential. And the longer she stayed in the system, and the longer she stayed around the environment, her motivation continued to change. A lot of people go, you're in a cult. That's a cult. They're trying to brainwash you. Yeah, some brains need washing. Yes, I agree. Some brains need washing. Okay, because most people, right, they're determined to think about, okay, the present. Very few people think about the future. And here's why. Because they understand whatever they've chosen usually will never get them to their financial goals. Got to remember, we've all chosen what we are. And if you don't like where you are, what do you have to do? You got to change. Well, as you all know, right, because you're well versed in this, change equals fear and doubt. And that's why most people stay stuck. Well, the number one thing you got to get people to do, starting with you, is you got to understand your motivation for doing the daily things. We'll get to that in a second, okay? But now, here's the other thing I'm going to challenge you on. You got to find other people's motivation. You got yours down, great. Now, you know what you have to do? Find everybody else's motivation. We call it the why. And sometimes it's so hidden and so suppressed because most people never think about it. And this is why when you get people to think about it, you become memorable. It's a conversation they will never forget because no one has it. Think about the conversations we have on a daily basis. How's it going? It's going fine. Great. How's it going? Oh, it's hot out. Oh, it's cold out. And that's the end of the conversation. But when you start to have real conversations with people, I promise you, okay, you become memorable. And you awaken this dormant entrepreneurial spirit. Because I believe everybody has it. I really believe everybody has an entrepreneurial spirit. It just hasn't been ignited in years. Right? Remember when you were kids and you were playing and your dad or mom said, what do you want to be? And one day you're going to be a nurse. The next day you're going to be the president. The next day you're going to be an astronaut. Okay? There was no limited thinking. Well, what happens to that? Well, we grow up. Read the book, Outwitting the Devil. I said that before. You'll understand why people get stuck. because they're what they surround themselves with is not thinking that's going to allow them to accomplish their goals. So this is what you have to do. You got to find people's motivation. So if you've already found yours, your job, your mission, remember Mission Impossible? Okay, your job, okay, is to find other people's motivation. And when you get that and you tap into it and you get people to dream again, now you insert your opportunity. See, we think people are inundated with opportunities every day. They don't. They're not. They're not looking. You only find what you're looking for. And you have to share with people, okay, that they need to start looking again. And how do you do that? You get them to what? Talk. You get into a conversation, and I promise you, if you take the time to do it, you will find people's motivation. And you all know the way you do it is by sharing your story first. You talk about your motivation. But I want you now, because I'm going off track here, you need to understand the long-term potential. I was told when we first got started, Jeff, 5 years, $1 million. 5 years, $1 million. Now, maybe some of you don't know this training, but here's what was told to me, and it's absolutely true. If built correctly, whatever you make your first year should double every year thereafter. Because the first year, okay, what efforts are you earning off of? Usually, in your first year, you're earning off basically your efforts, right? You don't have a team yet. But the second year, you have you and a team, so it should double. The third year, you have you, your team, and their team, so it should triple. So let's just take it. Let's say you make $60,000 your first year. 60, 120, 240, 480, right? 480, add that up. 480, that's $1.6 million, 5 years. 50,000 first year. 50, 100, 200, 400, 800. So Lisa made $55,000 her first year, $100,000 second year, $200,000 her third year. Okay, we made, after 6 years, 7 figures. Okay, so we were off. Doesn't matter. He got me to think 5 years. See, we had that little in between there, right? We had some drama. I've talked to you about our drama. Okay, I've talked to you about, right, working together and that whole drama. That stalled us. Okay, didn't make a difference. We still understood where we were going. It's not about being stalled. It's not about hitting a landmine. Who cares? That happens. It's how you react after you hit it. And I promise you, if you hit a landmine or if you talk to a naysayer, as long as you understand the long-term potential, they have no power over you. If you don't understand your long-term potential, they could steal your dream. Think, everybody. Has anybody tried to steal your dream since you've been involved in this opportunity or your opportunity? If you haven't met that person yet, you're not talking to enough people. I promise you that. Because they're out there, and it's usually the ones closest to you. Okay, number 2. Now that you understand your long-term potential, you got to set some short-term goals. Short-term goals. What short-term goals? Okay, the short-term goals are the same short-term goals in any company. How many times you guys heard me say this? You have a product or a service. You got to get that product or service into people's hands. You got to get people wanting that product or service and be willing to pay for it. We call it retailing. Unless somebody buys your product, you can't earn a commission. I'm going to build a team of multiple levels of people not using anything. No, you got to get them to use the product. And I'm going to get to that in a second. So you got to set your short-term goals every day, every week. How many people are you going to expose to your product or service? And you need to have separate goals. How many people are just going to become consumers of the product? And how many people are going to accept the opportunity? You got to have your numbers. And we've always trained on it. If I'm going to introduce my product or service, I want to make sure I leave them knowing there is a business attached to it. And I'm going to show you the genius behind a program. Now, to get people to use your product and to want it, you got to prospect. I wish I could make this thing what it isn't, but I can't. And I will always talk straight to you. This is a business of exposing people. Here's the good news. There's no shortage of people. There's a shortage of desire. That's normally what it is. And why is there a shortage of desire? Because most people don't understand the long-term potential. Well, I've been doing this, Jeff, just this weekend, okay? I've been doing this since April. I'm not where I want to be. Man, it's not working. So hang on a second. April, May, June, July, August, September, October. September, 5 months. Okay, we're in pre-launch. The company I'm with is in pre-launch. We haven't even launched yet, and the person's already given up. And I just had to bring that person around and said, listen, do you understand the long-term potential of the business? Did you get involved and you're going to base everything on your first 5 months of a company that hasn't even launched yet? And I just repeated back his frustration to him. He goes, you know what? You're right. So sometimes people just need someone to talk to. Because in our business, guys, it's sometimes, unless you're around it, and that's what I said to the person. I said, I haven't seen you on Success Zone. I don't see you on our weekly calls. He goes, well, I've been busy. Well, unless you're around it, this is where the stinking thinking comes in. But aren't those opportunity presentations the same thing? Yes, you need it. Don't you repeat some of those same trainings on Success Zone? Yes, you need it. If I've heard them 10,000 times, you need to hear them 10,000 times. Hello. So this is what it is. It's you prospecting. And when you prospect, you now have an opportunity to retail your product and sponsor new people into your business. So here's the point of this slide. How many people on a daily, weekly basis are you going to prospect? And from that prospecting, how many people do you want to use your product? And how many people do you expect to bring into the business? Now you want a goal? Okay, watch. I always believe in the beginning, you have a better opportunity to bring in more people in a short amount of time. Right? Because you're excited. And if you talk to enough people, you could get a nice amount of people in your business in your first 30 days. What do we talk about? Right? 20 people in 30 days. Remember that? Okay. Or 40 people in 6 months is a great goal to build the foundation. But after that, if you get traction, do you know superstars in this business? If you sponsored one a week, you're a superstar. That's 4 a month. If you did that, right, you will always have a business that throws off cash. So you got to get your groove when it comes to prospecting. It becomes a hypnotic rhythm. That's a phrase you'll learn if you read that book. It's a hypnotic rhythm. What we have to get people to do is change their hypnotic rhythm. Because their hypnotic rhythm got them to where they are. And if they don't like where they are, they got to change. It becomes a habit. Hypnotic means not thinking about it. I just do it. Think about it on a daily basis. It was not even a thought process. Every day I did the same thing. I got up, right? I took my shower. I brushed my teeth, right? I put on my baseball cap. I went to the gym. I worked out. I showered, and I went upstairs to my office. Every day. 12 hours a day in the office. Hypnotic rhythm. Came home. Lisa was sleeping because I got home at 9, 10 o'clock at night. Or she maybe stayed up to say hi. And then here we go. Repeat again. So that's a hypnotic rhythm. Well, you got to make prospecting a hypnotic rhythm. It's not like, oh, I got to prospect. No, it's I have to prospect. I have to do it daily. So you got to set your short-term goals. Very, very, very important. Okay, we always say add 2 a day. Add 2 a day, every day. Some people go, I want to add 5 a day. It's whatever it is. The number should be higher today than it was 20 years ago. Why? Because we could prospect now very easily through LinkedIn, through Facebook, through networking events. There's so many more opportunities we have to prospect with people. So you should have your numbers. And you got to run your numbers long enough to know how many people you have to talk to get someone to buy your product. And by the way, and I always talk about this, if you set a short-term goal and you hit it, take the time to congratulate yourself. Take the time to celebrate that success, because it is. A lot of people just look at the end result. Eventually, you'll get there. But in the beginning, you got to take baby steps. Man, I told myself today I'm going to prospect 10 people. I did. I put 10 people in my funnel. Wow. That deserves congratulations. Number 3, start always, always, always with your warm market. Why? Because you know their motivation. Did you guys follow me? The warm market, the people you already know the motivation. Why? Because you know where they live. You know the cars they drive. You know the conversations you've had. You know the family. You know if the wife works or if she doesn't work. You know if they're struggling. You know the motivation. You have the answers to your warm markets test. How powerful is that to know the hot button? That's why we say start with your warm market. Doesn't mean they're going to do it, but once again, you could do really well here, or you could learn from working your warm market. You know what you could learn from your warm market? Same thing I learned. I didn't want them anyway. That's what I learned. I learned I didn't want to sponsor my mom or my dad. Okay? Because, anyway, you guys get my point, right? In other words, it kept me. If someone said no to me, you know, my philosophy was, I didn't want you anyway. At least you're going to sit here and listen so I could practice. To my sister. You're my sister. I know you're going to say no to this, but I want to practice on you. Here, I'm practicing. Try my product. I'll get to that in a second. Worst case scenario, Julie, I want you to be a consumer of my product. I know you're going to say no to this. Well, let me just at least go through the presentation with you so you know what your brother is doing. In case you do come across somebody, I want you to be able to lead them and maybe provide a referral to me. Because I know right now you have nothing to offer people that want weight loss or an opportunity, because that's what we had. I go, now at least you know. So I want you to fill this out. If you haven't done it, maybe you have, but I'm going to challenge you. Do it again. Warm market situations change all the time. Write down a comprehensive list and just plan on being robotic. I plan on sharing the product and opportunity with how many people per day. That goes back to this. I got my list. I got to peel off, right? I got 500 people on that. I got to peel off how many a day? It just becomes what you do. I just got to go through it. I got my video. I got my website. I got my marketing funnel. I got all the tools, and all I have to do is get the information into their hands and let the numbers be what the numbers will be. And as I do it over and over again, I'm going to get better doing it. Oh, okay. Matter of fact, you're not worried about everybody's opinion. You're not worried about the no's. You're worried about getting through the 500 names. That's what you're worried about. Or whatever it is. But I'm telling you, start with your warm market. Very, very, very important to do. Number 4, right? You got this long-term potential. You got that down. Man, $1 million. I got my short-term goals, right? I have my list. Well, the number 1 person that I think you need to at least understand what you're doing is your significant other. Set your goals together. Whether they're involved or not, you need their support. There's no way you're going to stay in 5 years if your spouse is fighting you every step of the way. I know that because I was that spouse for about 30 days until Lisa finally sat down and said, you got to understand, this is what I'm doing. I'd love you to be more involved. Let me share with you what I believe I could accomplish. She didn't say for me. She knew that was a losing battle. She knew that if she did what she was supposed to do when the money started to come through, the spouse would come running. But she also knew she had to be the one that proved it. Because I was the naysayer. I was wishing her to fail so I could be right and broke versus wrong and rich. How about that one? Is that sad? But once I bought in, because she pulled me in, then she said, okay, you're going to be involved. And you all know my involvement, right? You guys remember the story I told you my involvement was? I was Camp Wellness. What did that mean? Well, Lisa's inner circle in the beginning was stay-at-home moms. All the stay-at-home moms had kids. That was her circle. So she had to create a way to take the excuse that they couldn't come to the meeting on Tuesday night. So I was the excuse person, okay? She said, don't worry, bring your kids to my house and Jeff will watch them. So I had Camp Wellness, okay? I had 5 or 6 screaming kids, okay, while the moms went to the meeting. That was my involvement. And I got real creative. I'll show you some pictures sometimes. Okay, we had kids screaming for 4 hours, right? I painted my face. We all did makeup sessions, okay? I was Camp Wellness. That was my involvement. That was my support. Get your spousal support. Let me give you a little hint here. Don't try to make them do this. Make the money, watch how fast they come running. Don't put it on them. This was your decision. Lisa never put it on me, ever. She said, I'm not asking you to do this. This is what I'm going to do. And I saw that belief. And I tried all my little tricks, right, to get her belief to stray, and it never did. Then I saw the first check, $1,500. I said, whoa, hey, hang on a second. What's going on there? Then all of a sudden, after 6 months, I saw $5,000. Now I start to understand long-term potential. Do you see what starts to happen? So many times you're trying to get everything perfect. Well, I can't do it. My husband's not on board. Okay, he's not going to be on board until he sees a commitment from you. or she's going to see a commitment from you. But try sitting down. Once again, remember I said have the conversations with your family? Say, listen, here's what I'm doing. Here's why I'm doing it. Here's what I expect to happen. If someone sees you really have a plan and you walk them through it, I promise you, unless you have some unsolvable problems, okay, you're going to get the spousal support. That's a whole nother training. We could take a day on how this business brings you closer together or further apart, okay? Now, number 5, start working the simple program. Now, I know every company has programs, right? 3 steps to success, 4 steps, 5 steps, 2 steps, whatever, okay? But here's the bottom line, and this is why I love this, okay? Remember, we were in supplements. Great business supplements. If you're in supplements, guys, it really was my training ground. Okay, here's why. You could take them, they disappear, right? And you have to reorder them. It's a consumable product, right? So step 1, I just want you guys to think now, okay, is to use all the products. You had to become a product of your product. Hang on. Come on, Lulu, come in. Okay, step 1, use all the products. Because if you use the product, who's the best end user of your product? I don't care what company you're with. It's a service company, you better be a user of the product. If it's a supplement company, whatever it is, be the best user of your product so you could get a result. And when you get a result from your product or service, you want to be able to share the benefits. This is what's going to get people excited. Facts tell, stories sell. If you don't believe me, look at any company who advertises on TV or on radio. What normally is their lead-in? It's a testimonial. Right? I went to this dentist. Look how white my teeth are. They don't say what procedure they said. Look how white my teeth are. I tried this product. Look how much weight I lost. I have this service. Here's the result from the service. Benefits. This is talking points. A lot of you will lead with the product in the beginning. Why? Because you could touch it. You could feel it. You could take it. It's tangible. And then we had a program that worked flawlessly of sampling. Sampling works. Sampling works. We didn't want to create, sales people. If you have a product that you could sample, man, give a lot of it away. You know what we were told? The more you give away, the more money you make. And it was absolutely right. In the beginning, I thought, that sounds crazy. I said, wait a minute. See, I'm trying to find the chink in the armor here. I go, you want me to buy the product with my money, and you're teaching me how to give it away, and you're telling me I'm going to get rich? Think about that. Sounds crazy, right? So Lisa bought $5,000 worth of supplements, and she was told to give it all away. Would you give away $5,000 to make $55,000? Well, hello. Okay, we all know that. Okay, so if you have a product to sample, go at it. Give it away. It's exposure. That's your marketing cost. And if I'm using it as a marketing cost, is that not a write-off? So what it really cost me? Nothing. Some of us now, we don't have something to sample. We have a service. Then you got to sample the video. You got to sample the results of the service. Right? You got to have your tools in place. See, sampling now is tools. But I'm telling you right now, if you have supplements and you have an instant gratification type product, which we did, it's easy to get people results. You let the product do the heavy lifting. You let the video do the heavy lifting. You use the tools. And the more people you could expose, the more product is going to be bought. And then we would teach people how to sample correctly. I would just plant the seed. Alicia, this is 5 products. They're all instant gratification. And I'm going to sample you 1 week of this product. And I promise you, Alicia, okay, after using this, you're going to want to buy the product because you're going to feel so good. See, Alicia, most people don't know what feeling good feels like. Most people think if they wake up with no headache, they feel good. No, we're going to show you how to really feel good, and I give it away. You know how much our sample kit's for, guys? This is 25 years ago. $100 to sample somebody. $100. So I would give away and I'd make sure, Alicia, I'm giving you this. And I just want your commitment that you're going to take it. Well, I could do the same thing. Alicia, I'm giving you a gift, an opportunity. And before I send you this video, I want to make sure you watch it. You got to put an emphasis on what you're giving. You got to create a value. And I used to create the value that she's going to feel great, and I'm going to share with her how she could get involved in my business and do the exact same thing I did with her, she's going to do with others. And you know what? I always represent myself as not a salespeople. I was sampling. So now Alicia's going, oh my God, that was easy. Jeff came over, sampled me this product. He planted the seed that he's going to make $55,000 to $50,000 this year doing that. I can do that. And I didn't go there and say, Alicia, let me tell you about my 5 products. Let me tell you all the ingredients. I said, here's how you take them. Here's how you watch it. Press play. You guys follow me? You got to give people direction and create the value of what they're about to see, take, or watch. And that's me sharing my product. And then that should create, worst case scenario, a consumer. And I'm going to share with Alicia how to buy it wholesale or retail. You could buy it retail, but most people choose wholesale. So all you got to do, Alicia, is become a wholesale shopper. Here's what it costs. And now you can buy the product at a 25% discount. See, that's what we did back then. So do you want to buy it wholesale or retail? It's like becoming a member of Costco. You're just becoming a member of this company, and you can buy your product at a discount. Okay, I'll do that. Or no, I'll buy it retail. I don't care. But how about this now, Alicia? What if I showed you how to make money doing what I just did with you? So the product costs you nothing. You're actually earning money by taking the product. That's what we taught. And every one of your companies, as long as you have a product or service, you could follow this program. Doesn't make a difference. No one's going to get mad at me. Nobody from another company or another leader is going to get mad at me teaching you this. Nobody. Because every step, look at the steps. Every step creates consumption. Every step creates consumption. Every step creates dollars in your business. And all I do is I taught this to as many people as I possibly could. If I just taught step 1, we could all be financially independent. If you all just got people using the product, you guys got it? This is it. And sometimes we miss these little simple steps. We're trying to get people just in the business. Yes. Now watch. Could I not start with step 5? Alicia, listen, Lisa and I are very excited. I know you keep your business options open. Man, we just got involved with a company that has great products. Man, we're using the products. We're getting tremendous results from these products. But we're doing it because we need to add extra income to our household. And so I could start with the opportunity and say, by the way, okay, let's now reverse engineer it. I use the product. I want to give this to you now. So I started with step 5. I'm planting the seed of the opportunity first. I could lead with product. I could lead with opportunity. Well, how do I know which one to lead with? It's based on the conversation. And if I go back to starting with your warm market, you know what conversation to start with. The most comfortable conversation for some of you who are just getting started is to lead with your product. And I told you why. I could touch it. I could feel it. It's tangible. The opportunity takes a certain skill set because you have such a belief system in the opportunity. Doesn't matter. I started with step 1. I used every product the company had. Now, look at, we had 35 products. Step 1 was to use all. Do you know if you used all the products, I would be using $700 of retail product a month? Think about that. Now you know why we taught step 1? Teach everybody how to use $700 a month. See if you can become financially independent. But what if I showed you how to make $2,000? How much did your $700 cost you? It's free, right? So you guys got to get this concept. This is the simple program. Now, if you teach this and you show people what you do to earn money, everybody can show this. No matter what your company is, everybody can show this. Everybody says what? You should be a user of your product. You should share the results. You should share your video or share your product. Get people to want to buy it and share the opportunity. No one could argue with this. But if I showed this, this is my business plan. This is what I do. Well, I can do that. Exactly. Yes, you can do that. That's the 5-step program. Okay? Number 6, sponsor 4 to 6 people locally. Now, you could take out the locally now. Remember, the company that we had before, the internet, was something that you built your home base first because that's where you did the meetings, parties, and trainings. They were all live events. There was nothing online. There was no online. What am I talking about? There was no online. It was maybe a phone call. So we always say build some rising stars locally, hands-on business. Now, that has been taken away because of the internet. Here's my point. Sponsor 4 to 6 people and build some rising stars. Show that there's proof in what you're talking about so you could point to it. And let me tell you about Alicia. She just got started with me. She got started, right? Do you know in her first month she made an extra $500? Right? And Linda got started with me. Linda got started and she went out there, right, with her desire, and she understood her long-term potential. She started following the very simple program. She made $900. I could point to success stories. That's what we're saying. Build some rising stars. Okay? Well, who's the first rising star? Better be you. Right? Prove it to yourself. But you got to have other people that are following the system that have a testimonial to share. That's how you start to build a team. Number 7, commit to your weekly sales meetings. Now, you see how old this training is? They were weekly. They were daily. But every one of your companies has a system. They have something you can leverage. There's webinars. There's Zoom meetings. There's conference calls. And there's live events. And I'll just tell you, I've never missed a weekly meeting ever. That was my business. And some people, okay, you need to understand the reason why. You got to be able to participate. You got to bring your enthusiasm. See, some people, well, how do I bring enthusiasm to a Zoom meeting? Well, you're present, you're taking notes, you're smiling, you're nodding. People are watching you all. Sincere excitement. I always was front row, and people used to call me the nodder because I knew that speaker was probably nervous, and I want them to have a friendly face to look at, right? And I would always be smiling and nodding because I was engaged. I wanted to be there. I wanted to be on the calls. I got something from it. And more importantly, if I was a leader and I was in the front row supporting, what do you think everybody else was doing? They were watching me. And I say, wow, how come he's up in that front row? Hasn't he been at 5,000 of these meetings? And I was sent a message. The most important thing right now is that speaker. And everybody was engaged. I brought a sincere excitement. I wanted to be there. I wanted to participate. What can I do? You're going to be a greeter today, Jeff, when I first got started. What do you mean a greeter? You ever go to church and there's the greeters welcoming you to church? Hi, welcome. Isn't it a great day? God bless you. Okay, have a great service. Right? Okay, well, the same thing in our meetings. We create the atmosphere. We had greeters. We had people signing in the guest. I'm just getting you to think, when we bring people to our house, you have somebody at the door greeting them. This is a business. And I wanted to make sure I never missed an event. Now, some of you, your companies have live events. You should always be at them weekly. Ours were every Tuesday and every Saturday. Those were the weekly. Then we did our daily events because we ran, remember I told you we ran radio ads. We bring people in on a daily basis. So commit to whatever it is your company has. If it's a weekly call, make sure you're on it. You should try to figure out how to participate. Hey, I want to do the testimonial. I'm looking for testimonials. Okay, I'll do one. And the more you're involved, the more excited you get. It all fuels each other, guys. Number 8, take advantage of the training tools that your company has. Every company has training tools. I know you probably have videos. I know you have websites. I know you probably have marketing funnels. Okay, whatever it is, don't recreate the tools. Just use the ones they're giving you. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. Well, I don't know. We should say that word versus this word. And I don't like this person. I don't like their message. I don't like that leader who's on that video. I'm not going to share that. See, you're just self-sabotaging your business. It's crazy what some people do. They'll redo the whole thing, okay, for authorship. And it's usually the same person that can't sponsor their way out of a paper bag. Okay? So just take advantage of the training tools. Okay? Don't recreate it. Number 9, every company has regional seminars. Some of them are every 3 months. Some have 6 months. Everybody has a yearly one. We never missed a regional seminar, ever. Remember I told you every month for 15 years, 10 years, we had to go to Dallas. Every month. That was our regional seminar, every month. Then we had regional generators locally every month. So we were doing one a month, and then we were going to Dallas. Well, that's what people love. It's the success stories. It's the marketing plan. It's the training. It's the procedures. It's recognition. We always want to be on stage. We always want to be recognized as top 3, top 1, number 1 producers, number 1 earners. If there was a cruise or an incentive, we want to be there. We've been around the world 5 times on luxury cruises paid for by the companies. All of our cars paid for. That's recognition. Right? Mercedes, BMWs. Okay, every company had a we made sure we took advantage of everything, and we want to be recognized. So that's what drove us. So always commit to your regional seminars. And people go, well, isn't there a cost? Yes. Remember I say there's not a tradition. This is not traditional overhead. So what was my overhead? Cost of my samples. We had training centers, and we had travel. That was back then. Those days are over now. But if I compared that to a traditional business, okay, crazy. So be there. And then number 10, probably one of the most important. You got to market your success. Well, Jeff, how do I market something where I'm not successful yet? Well, first of all, you got to change that. You're already successful because you made a decision to change. I keep emphasizing that. You got to think about that every day. Most people go through their whole day today complaining about their situation. You at least complained enough where you made a decision to do something about it. That's successful. Go market that. Hey, let me tell you, I'm successful because I've identified over the last 20 years, I'm still broke. And if I keep doing the same thing for 20 more years, nothing's going to change. Let me tell you what I just did. Now, is that not a successful posture? Market that. But here's the number one thing you could all market. A new attitude. A new pep to your step. A new direction. People notice that. What's going on with you? Why are you happy? I love that one. Why are you so happy? You need to be miserable like me. You know the number one thing that we used to do when we used to go on these cruise ships? We always had a group of people, and we were always the ones up at 6 in the morning in the gym, and we were always the ones at the disco till 2 in the morning. Okay, crazy. Okay, because we were all popping pills, right? We all had our supplements. Okay, so everybody on the ship would go, man, that group, they're always so excited. It would create conversation. You need to do that with your groups. Just market a new attitude. When it says appearance, look the part. Appearance, I always say, just put a smile on your face. That changes most people's appearance. No matter how much money you have. It's warm. It's inviting when you smile. When you get into a conversation. And then here's all I say to you. As you start changing your situation, start to show it. People believe what they see. Start giving back if that's what you want to do. But start changing, right? Stop driving the 25-year-old car. Let people see that there was a change. Let them see that what you're doing has worked. Right? And this is what you market. You market your success. If you don't toot your own button, what's that saying? It goes anyway. Market your success. Okay? Those are the 10 steps. Those are the 10 steps to success that if you follow them, I promise you, your situation will change. But this is the number one thing I had control over, was my attitude. And every day I wake up, good or bad, whatever happened, fight with Lisa, right? Whatever happened, fight with my mom, I had to wake up, make sure everything was right, because this had to be right. So appreciate all of you. Thank you. This has been recorded, and we will see you guys on Wednesday. Bye, guys.